So I do a lot of, quick and easy weddings. Like they don't want anything special. They just want the day captured. Of course, you always have to do the family photos, the group photos, and stuff like that. But the rest of the stuff, they don't care. They just capture the day, and a lot of them are in courthouses. They're in, people's houses. They're in, the lonely little places. But it's perfect for their wedding. So, I decided to throw that little camera on that little Go. I got the Go 3 or whatever it is, and I put it on my chest. So obviously, the quality is not going to be there. And the issues with this, like a lot of weddings, I know a lot of, YouTube stuff is big fancy weddings, outdoor, and everything is glamorous and perfect. But when the reality hits, there's a lot of VFW and lower end weddings, that are never shown on YouTube, but are more the reality of the industry. There's not a lot of high end weddings versus we're just going to get married and enjoy ourselves. I do a lot of those because I enjoy them. It's a quick in and out. This one was a 3-hour, hey, we just want you for 3 hours, come capture the wedding and leave. So I figured, what, this would be a great time to show you, now the first problem was the courthouse. There's so many places you're not allowed to shoot in the courthouse anymore. And just getting a camera in the courthouse without the judge's permission and in this case, they forgot to say, hey, there's a guy coming to shoot the wedding. So I had to wait for way too much time to go through, security and all that stuff. Anyway, I finally did, and there's one area in the courthouse you can shoot in, which is the lower level, like the rotunda, if you will. But anything on the second and third floor, you're not allowed to shoot because that's where the courtrooms are. It's highly restricted. So even in the courtroom itself where the wedding happened, I had to wait for the judge to say, you have permission to shoot. And he was in court in another courtroom, so it was kind of an awkward thing. The guests are arriving, and he was literally going to show up minutes before they were going to get married and then leave right after that, and then come back for a quick photo, with the bride and groom. So it was really a logistics nightmare on when I can shoot, how I can shoot, and waiting for permission to shoot in the courtroom. And then I had to watch which direction I was shooting because the doors were opened. Now, if the doors were open too wide and it showed any of the corridor, I couldn't use those. And then rotunda, I wanted to shoot down, so I had to make sure that I didn't get any of the levels that weren't allowed to be shot. So it was a wedding, just to say that. Anyway, because I was going in, I didn't want to carry a bag because it was the courthouse and I had to go through security and everything would have had to be, the fine tooth comb searched. So I literally carried 2 cameras. I had the Hasselblad X1D with the 45 millimeter lens, and I had the Leica with the 50 millimeter. That's it. That's all I carried. I wasn't allowed to shoot flash in the courthouse, so that was out. We made it work. And then we went to a club, a private club afterwards, just for some quick shots. And this club has, brown ceilings because they're wood. They have some rooms with white ceilings, which doesn't help because everything around you is, the deep brown wood. So it's tough to bounce light anywhere. You had to use direct flash or try to bounce something and then fix it in post. This is like typical for these kind of weddings. And, you don't see this kind of stuff on YouTube. You always see the glitz and the glam. So I figured this is a good one. Anyway, the video quality like this, I have the shade down, so I'm just using a straight flash or light on my face. I don't know what it is. It's an 80 watt something. I'm never concerned about video quality, and I apologize for that. But this isn't about great video quality and me being a YouTuber. It's about showing you photography. But the video quality isn't great because I'm wearing that thing on my chest and my arms are up and I don't pay attention to it. And I won't put it on top of my camera because it would drive me a little insane. So I just threw it there so I can get something to show the situations that I was in versus the photos that we put out. Anyway, and by we, I mean me. Okay, so here's the video. I hope you get something out of it. Again, if you have any questions, leave them below. I'll be glad to answer them. But here's this little short, sweet wedding. So here's my start, which was at the x-ray machine waiting to get through, and this took so long. But I finally got in and up to the floor where I needed to be. The courtroom was nice and light in here, but it wasn't as bright as it seems. The windows were great, but it was a really overcast day, and it was just brutally hot this day as well. Not that it affected me inside, but outside it kind of killed me. And in the rotunda, it was pretty bad. Now, waiting to shoot just candids of people coming in and everything, it was impossible. So I literally created the candids after the wedding. So I'm just going to show you some just quick shots from the wedding itself. I'm not showing you many because it's, not the point of this. And these are straight out of camera. So yeah, they needed to be edited and tweaked here and there, but straight out of camera, they're actually really, really good. And this is a cross between the Leica M11 and the Hasselblad X1D. Both did a fantastic job. They're both really good with color, so it helps in these type situations. But this is kind of reality for a lot of weddings, where they get married in older churches in our area, or in venues that are just not bright and modern. There's a lot of these type venues, so you just have to play it. Now, we only had so much time in this courtroom because literally this courtroom is going to be used for a trial right after us. So, we had 10 to 12 minutes, I believe, and there were so many family photos, like I made them run into position. Now, here I have the top cropped off because I can't show you anything on this floor that's restricted. So, these videos of me shooting down on the couple in the rotunda, I really have to crop. Now, this kind of stuff, you can see like the bluish tone from the window and the other tone from the lights. That stuff I'll fix in post, but I really wanted to show you straight out of camera stuff so you can see. And I apologize for the angles, but there's only so much I could show on the videos and on the photos without getting in trouble, just in case somebody does see this. I don't want them coming after me. And I'm going to remove that podium in post because it's, it would just destroy the pictures, and I don't want to see it. This is one where I actually removed the podium. But even in the rotunda, we only had so much time. I got as many photos as I possibly could in that short time period. And that means, I think I shot a total of 200 photos, 250 for this total wedding. And that's it. That's all we had time for. This is the club straight afterwards. You can see it's a brown ceiling. It's reddish orange walls. Using a flash in here just throws light of every other color that you don't want into the photos. But here's one straight out of camera. This area here did have a white ceiling, but it was more like an eggshell yellowish ceiling. So it's going to take work in post, but you have to have the base image to start. So I pulled them outside. Now this is a little trick I just wanted to show you. This is the only reason I left this in. I always have the bride face away from me, and then I fluff the dress out directly straight towards me, and then I'll have her shimmy back around, and it gives the perfect look to the dress every single time. Now she took shimmying quite literally, and she was really shimmying, but they just turn carefully around, and it'll put the dress in the perfect position. Anyway, this was it. This was the wedding. I just wanted to show you, a quick, easy wedding. But, as far as lighting and so forth, not so easy. The outside shots, of course, are, they're a no-brainer. But this is the reality of a lot of weddings. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, leave them below.